Hello, Mrs. Fawns here. We're going to look at The Dog Didn't Eat My Homework. This is our second passage of the week, and we are looking at Tuesday questions. And I actually have a few of them already answered, but I'll still be going over them. Now, I won't be reading on this recording, but if you would like to hear the story again, go back to Monday's recording, and you can hear me read it, and you can read along with me. Or I do challenge you to try this on your own and read it on your own. You could even though this week is not concentrating on fluency, you could always pick a sentence or even a paragraph or the whole thing, time yourself, and then do that a second time and see if you can beat that baseline time and increase your fluency. Okay, so the dog didn't eat my homework. What is Cody's problem in the story? So if I go back here, I remember at the beginning we found out that he had written this report on Benjamin Franklin, and when it came time in his classroom to report that report, he couldn't find it. So I've already highlighted this right here. Searching through his notebook, he realized the red folder was gone. So that's what I have written here. He can't find his red folder. And because I know specifically he was looking for that report, I just put it in parentheses, because that's really what he was mostly upset about, and that was the problem. This is written in a complete sentence, so I have a capital H for he, and I do have my punctuation there at the end, my period. Okay, our next question. Who first noticed something was wrong with Cody? I remember his teacher kind of getting on to him because he was whispering with a friend, and I believe that was probably the first person that noticed something was wrong. I'm going to go back and look. He was rifling through his stack of books. Catherine was presenting, and this is where it happened. His friend Chelsea realized something was wrong, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And then he tells her what the problem is. So, who first noticed something was wrong with Cody? His friend, and I have a comma because I'm going to specifically say what her name is, Chelsea. This is not written in a complete sentence, so it's okay that there's no capital letters or punctuation. Okay, now we have this number 3 here. It's not numbered, but our next question, I do see that it's in quotation marks because they have lifted this direct quote from the text, and it says, Cody felt a lump in his throat build. What does this sentence from the text tell you? And I'm just thinking back to myself, some background knowledge and schema. That is what background knowledge is. And whenever I feel like I have a lump in my throat, I know it's like a tense situation. I might be kind of nervous about something. I am going to go back and look at this and find that direct quote from the text. This is when he was talking to his friend Chelsea. She's asking, did you leave it at home or on the bus? And here's our quote. Cody felt a lump in his throat build. He had taken the report out and looked at it on the bus, making sure he had it. Had he set it on the seat beside him, he's realizing that maybe that's where he left it. So I know he definitely has some anxiety here. I'm going to use the word nervous. So this sentence tells me that I'm writing this in a complete sentence, so capital H, he is nervous. You might say something a little different and word it differently, and that's fine. And if you noticed, I found the quote, but then I read a little bit before, a little bit after, just to help me with the context of what we're talking about in the text. All right, my last question for today. According to Cody, whose fault was it if he had left his report on the bus? Okay, so after that quote about the lump in his throat, I do remember him talking about this new kid on the bus, and he seemed very annoyed. So I'm going to go back over here and look. So he had taken the report out, looked at it. I'm just kind of skimming through. It's okay if I'm skipping around. The only person near him was this annoying new kid. What's his name? I'm going to highlight that because I think that's going to mean something in just a second. So if Cody had left it on the bus, it was that kid's fault for distracting him. So there we have it, spelled right out for us. And I will say that's what explicit meaning, that's what we're looking at this week. And that means things you can find right there in the text. And this is spelled right out for us. I call those right there questions. So, according to Cody, whose fault was it? He had left his report on the bus. And I'm going to look back at the new kid. What's his name? the new kid, comma, and at this point he's calling him what's his name, all lumped together in one giant word. He kind of made up his own word there. All right, so those are Tuesday questions. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you back tomorrow for Wednesday questions on this same passage, the dog didn't eat my homework.